Yeah, Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. Boy, isn't that great music? What makes a flower grow? I tell you what, worry does not make a flower grow, okay? Although I got to tell you, I have had some plants that have been in my house, and I had to go have a conversation with them. And I said, okay, plant, you have a chance. You can either grow and get green and start moving, right, Susan? Or I'm going to have to put you outside somewhere. And, you know, every single time those plants have taken off. Now, I know that sounds a little bit, worrisome to you guys out there in radio land, but it's really true.
You talk about, nurturing plants, and Woodrow Wilson had a really good quote here. He says, "One cool judgment is worth 1,000 hasty counsels. The thing to do is to supply light and not heat."
Hello?
Good metaphor.
Yeah, it's all about how you lead people. You know, if you leave them in a place of, oh gosh, icky pooey, things are terrible, cold Karo syrup, yuck, then the whole world's going to slow down. Now, before we went on the break, we were talking about examples of things that human beings, we worry about, I worry about, Susan worried about, my daughter, everybody worries, my son worries, you name it. And I have clients all over the United States and in Europe, and most of the conversation is about what happens if it doesn't work? What happens if we don't make it? What happens if they don't like me? And it's all stuff that rarely, and I got to tell you, rarely, maybe 2 or 3% of it comes true. So people worry about stuff that never happens, Anyway, the list I gave you about worried about children going to school for the first time, worried about the speech you give, and on and on and on. The list goes on and on and on. So some of the things we worry about, we can do something about, and others we can't. Some things we have power around, and some things we don't. You just got to get used to that. So you got to be positive. If you're going to worry in a positive way. Gee, I wonder how cute I'm going to be. Instead of, oh, God, I'm ugly. I'm not going to make it,
Well, Clay, we have someone on the phone who's wondering that and many other things. We have Pam on the line.
Wow. Hi, Pam. What can I do for you?
Hi, Clay. My question is, my girlfriend's dad just recently was entered into the hospital for some medical issues.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend is usually the type of person who's not very good at showing her emotions.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to be there for her, but I'm kind of worried that I'm either asking how her dad's doing too much and kind of making it, replay in her mind that her dad is in the hospital and, he's sick and everything like that. I'm kind of worried that I'm adding fuel to the fire, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, but I do want to be there for her and make sure she's okay and stuff like that, since she is one of my best friends.
Okay, now here, let me give you the best tool I know for dealing with a situation like that. It's where you want to support the person and supporting the person who's in the hospital, quite frankly, is what you're saying, all right? So the way you do that is you ask your girlfriend, hey, and you speak from what I call first person. I can remember where I had a good friend that had a loved one in the hospital, and I got to talk to her about how the loved one was doing in the hospital, and sure enough, my gosh, it helped my friend. And also the good vibes went over to the person in the hospital.
Yeah.
So that you could say that. And there's a technique I call clearing, where you say, sometimes we make up stuff and we worry about stuff, and a lot of times if we could just speak it to somebody and just give it to that person and just let it go, okay, then that could get out of the space for her. So we call that clearing. Another way to do it is prayer. I mean, you could use your biblical belief system to quite frankly energize the conversation between her or him and the person who's in the hospital. All right, last but not least, you don't have to say anything. You can just give her a hug.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Way cool. Wow, thanks for calling. That was a great question.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, you have a great day. All right.
Thanks, Pam.
Thanks, Pam.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, now, so I told you when we got back, we were going to talk about how we give up worry. So what is worry, all right? Remember I talked to you about that? Worry refers to a negative self-talk. So how do we give up negative self-talk? It's a mental choice. Now, write that down. If you're driving, don't write. Give it to your passenger. And if not, you can pick up this radio show in 3 or 4 days on YouTube, and you can get all the information there. By the way, you can go to youtube.com/CNLB, Clay Nelson Life Balance, and you'll be able to get this whole show in 3 or 4 days. So now, giving up worry is a choice, a mental choice to give up worry. And it's not an easy choice to make because we are familiar with worry. It's like you have a wallpaper in your house you don't really like, but you're used to it. That's what worry is to the mind. Ooh, that was good. That was good.
That was profound.
Oh,
And,
profound.
you inspired our next caller. His name's Frank.
Oh, Frank, hi. What can I do for you?
Well, I tell you, I talk about worry, and obviously it's a mental process.
Yeah.
But my worry is based on some real concerns. I happen to live in, and it could be anything, but in this case, it happens to be the current situation facing this area, and it's the Zaka fire.
Yeah.
And worrying about and wanting. It's almost as though it's been going on so long.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't care how it ends. If it comes up to pass and burns my house and, okay, I'm over and now I can get insurance and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or if it would just die up, just want it over because it's just so fatiguing mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah. Well, can I give you some tools to use, and they're mental tools?
Absolutely.
Sure. So number one is it's like a good Boy Scout. You got to be prepared. So there's all kinds of lists out on how to be prepared to handle this type of an emergency. Second is you can give up having it use you up with the worry by being in action, helping others who worry more than you are. You understand? So you can contribute to others in your neighborhood or in your area, or maybe folks that are older than you that may need your help, or maybe kids that are in your area that may need your help, and you be the strong person that has stability in your voice instead of fear in your voice.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
That sounds like it.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks very much for calling in. It sounds to me like you're going to do just fine. I can hear it in your voice.
Well, I know that we will either way. I mean, if it does come up or if it doesn't, I know that we will be because we've been through a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
One question for you.
Yes,
How
sir.
important is being well informed? Even though you have no control over the external situation that, in this case, the fire, how important is that to
Well, okay. Let me
worry?
sure. Let me answer that question. In anything you do, in anything that you have a say in the change of, or you don't have a say in the change of, the more informed you are, the better logical decisions you can make that will be best for you, your family, and those around you. So being informed is extremely important, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No, thanks for calling, my friend. God bless.
Bye.
Okay, now, boy, that was a great call. Let me see. So how to give up worry. The way you give up worry is getting real straight about what you're worried about and should you be worrying. And you can either know what you can do about it or respectfully give it up. You can either know what you need, know what you don't know, go find it out and give up the worry. Have a plan. Anything in life is all about planning for, one, what you don't know, and planning for what you want, and then going and getting it, okay? So now, giving up worry. It's all about getting really straight around. Remember I talked to you about my airport persona? There are things that you can worry about that you could do something about, and there are things that you can worry about that you can't do anything about, i.e., air flights. You understand? They're going to do what they do, and that's the way it is. Now, I've got to go on another break. Can you believe this? I mean, my gracious, I have some of the greatest sponsors in the world, and I want to give them their airtime. And so I've got to go, and I'm worried about them, so I have to go and let them do their thing. So this is Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. You're listening to KZSB AM 1290. Send me some emails, and then get on back here.